Hi everyone, I'm here to show you how to do oil pastel techniques today. You're going to start off by making 6 separate rectangles drawn lightly on your page, and we're going to fill them in with different techniques. Okay, so you should have something that looks a bit like this. I'm also going to choose some oil pastels that are kind of in the same family. So I've got yellow and green, I've got a darker green and a dark blue, and then a white as well. The white might be quite difficult to find, so have a good look for it. You can even break it down so more than one person can use it at the same time. So each of these rectangles is going to have a different technique in it. The first one's going to be called light pressure blend, and I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to really lightly go over my rectangle, really lightly, so that it can blend in with the next one. And then I'm going to get my next colour and I'm going to lightly blend, kind of covering over some of that one, and then trying to fill up the whole of that space. And then I'm going to add another of my colours in, a bit darker maybe, and each time I'm kind of overlapping the last one, and hopefully they'll all start to blend together. This is a really nice effect because it adds a little bit more texture to your work. It also fills up spaces really quickly, so you might want to have a go at that. I'm going to go in with a bit of white over the top, and then I might even do a bit of cross hatching as well to add a bit more texture to it, and you're going to fill up the whole of your rectangle like that. Okay, the next one we're going to do is heavy pressure blending. So just like it says, we're going to put a lot more pressure on. We're going to press really hard, and I'm just going to see how it goes. I'm going to try and experiment a little bit as I go, and I'm going to see what happens if I add a lighter colour on top of that and try and blend them together. And then I'm going to see if I then put the darker colour back on top of it, what happens then, or if I use the darker blue, what will happen on top of that. So just to have a little experiment to see what's going to happen, and then you're going to fill up your whole page. So pressing really hard so you can't see through that to the page at all, and making sure that your colours are overlapping each other so you can see what's happening. Okay, and then you're going to fill up the whole of your rectangle. The next one's called mark making, so we're just going to very carefully add some marks into our box. We're going to think about different colours, different marks that you can make, so that you've got loads of different ones that you could use later on when you come to doing your landscape. I'm going to overlap some of them, see what happens when I do that. Make darker areas maybe, and then add the other colours in as well. So lots of different mark making that you can add. I'm kind of thinking about organic things like reeds or tree bark, trying to make it organic shapes. The next one you're going to do is light on dark, so just trying to have a look at what happens if you add a dark colour. So that now I'm trying to think about Dion Swift's work and trying to make it reminiscent of a landscape, and then I'm going to add some other colours in there as well. Maybe these are a hill with some trees on, and then on the top of that I'm going to add some white, and I'm going to add it so that I can start to see that. So you can see when you add lighter colours on top of dark, they really do stand out against each other. This might be quite helpful for you later on. Alright, so have a play around, see which ones work best, and you're going to fill the whole of yours up at that time as well. The next thing you need to do is you're going to put down some lighter colours first. So I'm going to go with my yellow and some lighter green, and then you fill up the whole of your rectangle, and over the top of it you're going to put a dark colour. So I'm going to go in with my dark blue. You guys can choose any colours that you want to, And then over the top of that, I'm going to do a technique that's called Graffito. And Graffito means scratching in Italian. And I'm going to use the end of a pencil, the non-sharp end of a pencil, and I'm going to scratch into it. And I'm going to think about those marks that I'm making and try and make them look like they are organic shapes. This is more like grasses or reeds. Okay, and then the next one, so you can fill up that whole space again. The next one is called the rule of three, and the rule of three is all about mixing at least 3 colours together. So I'm going to take the ones that I've used already. I'm going to start off by scumbling. Scumbling is about making little circles. They don't fill up the whole of the space. You can see the page through it. And then into that, I'm going to start to add my next colour, and I'm going to try and fill up some of the gaps that I've left, and I'm trying to blend them together. What this does is it creates a much more mature drawing. It's not just so solid, it's got a bit more texture to it. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to start to add the next colour, and by doing this, the colour on top starts to blend the colours underneath as well. And then you could even add another colour in there, or you could go back into it with one of the other colours that you had. And you can see that starting really to blend those colours together now. And you can get lighter and darker in different areas as well. Maybe I just want to use some of the yellow in here. Always scumbling. And then maybe I want to add some of the white in as well. And that's really started to blend it together, but not in a flat way. It's becoming much more exciting. And then I might even want to add some of the blue in here as well. And maybe add some of the yellow back in just to kind of blend it together a little bit. Okay, so I would want you to fill up that whole area with scumbling as well. And so by the end of that, you should have a whole page of different techniques. Good luck.